It is college football apostles time. It's your boy George Wrighster. He's Ralph Amsden. And we got to talk about the ongoings in this week's of college football. So, more coaches have been fired. And is there a mafioso thing going on? We got to talk about Lane Kiffin, more trolling going on. Virginia, they stormed the field. Was this right? Are we getting a little too Karenish about how we care about this? Paul Finebaum is talking about running for U.S. Senate. Uh, Ohio State secondary is a thing. You know, fans are demanding coaches be fired, people be benched, all sorts of things. And Ted Cruz, we got a battle between the SAFE Act and the SCORE Act. And politics is right in the middle of football again. And so be it, so be it. And you got so much to talk about. I'm former NFL player, former college football player, college football analyst for CW, and Ralph Amsden, the encyclopedia of all things sports, Rain Man, and the man who can tell you exactly why. Oh gosh, who were the people that we were just talking about were related the other day?
Oh, the Romneys, the Gunner Romney, BYU wide receiver, Tate Romney, ASU linebacker, related to Mitt Romney, former presidential candidate, and Tate Romney somehow married a girl. He's a current ASU player who also had the last name Romney. And I went off on a huge tangent about that, and you looked pretty confused as
Yes,
to
because
why
there
I
was like a
cared at
Mexican
all.
cartel involved and other things, and yeah. But maybe we'll tell that story one day, but not today. We had a great weekend of college football. And, I mean, I think everybody could agree that this was one of the greatest college football weekends of the entire year. And out of the 5 weeks. And it could turn out to be the best weekend of the entire, regular season. But I guess we will start where we usually start, which is the our three takeaways from last weekend. I'll let you go first, Ralph.
Okay, so my first takeaway from the weekend is that Ohio State's secondary can really carry this team until everybody else catches up. Of course, the AP believes that Ohio State over the last 5 weeks has been the number one team in the country. Hard to argue with, but it still feels like a lot of areas of the team have room to grow. But this secondary, I mean, I watched my son despair over Damon Williams' inability to get the ball downfield,
He couldn't run,
and
man. They put him in a straitjacket, boy.
yeah, and it wasn't even like he played bad. It just
Yeah,
there's not things available.
yeah.
And you took some heat in the comment section. You take heat in the comment section all the time. You don't care. But you took some for repeatedly referring to Caleb Downs as college football's best player until we see otherwise. But this secondary is and they replaced a lot of players, but they are carrying Ohio State right now. And once Ohio State gets those other three legs under them, like the defensive front and Julian Sayin and the special teams is all going, that's going to be a hard team to beat.
Their linebacker number 8 is a demon. I am going to tell you that. I forgot the kid's name, but on film, all you see is eight, 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 everywhere, bro. He's a demon. And
Arvell Reese, is
yes,
that right?
Arvell. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Watch this kid play. He is fast. He is physical. He's one of them, like, he, dare I say this, it feels like I'm watching Fred Warner.
Yeah, I don't know if Fred Warner is 6'4", 245. God
No, he's
dang.
not. No, he's not.
Yeah, well, his Ohio State overview starts with this sentence, which pretty much sums up what you just said. Arvell is a superbly talented tackler who is on the cusp of exploding onto the national scene. Sounds like, yeah, they were right.
Yes, 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 they were.
The other thing I have, and I know that you've already brought this up, the difference between the first 5 games for Jackson Arnold and the first 5 games for Peyton Thorne, which is what kind of made Hugh
Yeah,
Freeze and Auburn fans want to go and get a better quarterback, is fascinating because Peyton Thorne had 400 more passing yards, 5 more touchdown passes, but was 1-4. through 5 games. Jackson Arnold is 3-2 with 5 touchdown passes, only 800 passing yards, no interceptions. Peyton Thorne had 6 up to this point. 4 of those came in one game. And then in the rushing yards, Jackson Arnold came out and he rushed for 137 against Baylor, but he only has 55 since then in 4 games after that. So I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like
They
that
hated
was the
Peyton
answer.
Thorne last year. And I was like, when I would watch Peyton Thorne, I was just like, he's not great, but neither is he terrible. He's not terrible. And this was my fear for Auburn when Jackson Arnold went over there. He's not he's like paralysis by analysis when you're watching him play. There are people open. There are like he just won't throw the football. It's like he won't throw it until he's sure. And the problem, and so he got sacked 10 times against Oklahoma, and then 7 last week versus it was Texas A&M, right?
Yeah.
And out of those 17 sacks, 10 of them were his fault because he was holding the ball too long. Like the ball's got to go. Either the ball's got to go out or you got to get out. I mean, like his protection hasn't been superb, but neither has it been as bad as the amount of sacks that he's accumulated. I mean, he's just standing back. It's like, have you ever played Mario Kart?
Oh yeah.
So when you're playing Mario Kart and you see the ghost come up and they put the oil on the so part of the screen is blacked out, that's what it looks like happens at the snap, that they put the oil up on them and, or blurred the background, and you're like, and he's like, bro, the background's the background is blurry. What do you want me to do?
So literally seeing ghosts.
Yes, literally seeing ghosts.
My last thing from last week is now that I've watched Bill O'Brien lose to Stanford and Cal in the same season,
At
with
Boston
Stanford
College.
having an interim coach and the Cal game was at Boston College. Yeah. I'm starting to think this thing that people are talking about, how NFL coaches don't work in college.
Oh, you're just starting to think that doesn't work. No, it doesn't work the same way that college coaches
I
don't
just
work.
thought we had a limited sample size and eventually you would get some evidence to the contrary, but you can't be
It's
losing
a
to Stanford and
different
Cal in the same
game, bro.
season.
It's a different game. College football is a different game. It is a like you're way more matchup based in the NFL than in college, where your systems and your schemes and all these things have to be working together and married, and like recruiting takes such a big factor. Like coaches think they're so smart. Oh, we'll just game plan this and this and this. It don't matter if your Jimmys and Joes ain't right, buddy.
Yeah, and in
Don't
the
matter.
NFL, like 10-7 is cool as long
Yeah,
as you are on the way up when it comes tournament time. But you
exactly.
can lose 7 games in the NFL and be a good coach. Right now, Boston College is 1-3, and I'm like, is this the worst staff of all time?
Yes,
So I
exactly.
mean, and no shade. This is no shade to Cal and Stanford, but people have to understand
Neither of them are
Cal
good
lost.
teams.
Yeah, okay, you said it a little more direct than I would have, but Cal literally lost everyone, and Stanford doesn't have a permanent head coach and also lost everyone. This should not be happening. Now, shout out to the West Coast. I love that part of it, but it just does not look good for Boston College right now.
Not even a little bit, dude. This looks tough. Yeah,
What are
it
your
looks.
takeaways from the weekend?
My takeaways from the weekend. The first thing is fans. I mean, Lord have mercy. Can we have a monicum of like patience and like temperance? I understand the fan is short for a fanatic, but at some point in time, we can't be firing everybody, because firing people means that recruits decommit, people hop in the transfer portal. It starts some level of rebuild. A lot of times the best answer is to love yours and fix yours instead of just trying to think that you're just going to throw the next thing in the trash. Um my next thing is the Big 10 is crazy good, bro. Big Ten is crazy good. You have obviously Ohio State and Oregon look elite. You have I don't think that there's one SEC team right now that looks elite. That looks well, excuse me, except for Oklahoma. Outside of Oklahoma, none of these teams appear elite because you can't say Alabama is. They lost to Florida State. So might they turn into an elite football team? Possible. Georgia does not look like an elite football team. Texas hadn't played anybody with a pulse since a competitive game since they lost to Ohio State. So, and Arch hadn't looked that great. So who knows? Um, they might be elite, but they've not. There's no evidence of that so far. Texas A&M, Reese is a good football player. He's a good playmaker, but he's not a great passer yet. They have way too many penalties. Ole Miss, you're like, maybe, and I wasn't a believer, but now I'm getting close to Imagine Dragons, believer, believer. And but the Big Ten though, Indiana looks really good. Illinois, even after they got skull drug a week ago, came back and then beat USC. Um, and more UXC excuses, but that's a whole nother story. They pre complained and then they're post complaining. And but yeah, Michigan is a tough out, but I think Michigan and USC and Illinois fit along with those SEC teams. Penn State is still a very good football team if they can figure out what to do with Drew Allar, or Drew Allar can figure out what to do. One of the two. So yeah. And then the last thing is special quarterbacks matter. Like special quarterbacks matter. If you're going to win a national championship, your quarterback at some point in time has to be a superhero. And not very many times during the regular season, but in the playoff, he's going to have to be special at least once. And so, yeah, and we saw that on full display with Dante Moore. He's been special. Um, Ty Simpson in the Alabama Georgia game, he was special. Um, I mean, I would even say in Arizona State's game, even though that Levitt didn't play great initially, he showed he's pretty special. Um, you know, yeah, special guys make special plays, and when you get in the crunch, you need your quarterback to be special. Rough.
I was on mute so that I didn't interject on your Arizona State point, but I was when you're talking about Sam Levitt, um, it brings me back to Jackson Arnold because he can run, and you don't want your quarterback to be leaving the pocket all the time. But if you're not seeing downfield well, sometimes you just got to take off.
Yep.
And that's what Sam Levitt does a lot of. Do I wish that he would step up in the pocket and let it fly? Yeah, because I think that that's a more sustainable plan for success. But you can't stand in if you're getting blown up.
Yeah.
And Jackson Arnold has the athletic ability to get out and run. And I think he's costing Auburn right now. But you do have to have that self belief to just
Sometimes you
go.
got to just go win. Like yo, I'm not
Yeah,
seeing it clear. I'll figure it out. But until then, we got to get some first downs. Until until the paint comes off, until the blur goes away. You know, we got to get first downs.
all right, so let's get to this week's storylines. And you asked me to put one on our list, and I was a little bit confused about it, but now I'm kind of excited to talk about this. So the song Mo Bamba, which is this new to you, or is it just was on in the background and you never paid attention to it before?
No, no, no. I've always heard it. So it, yeah, no, 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 no. I've known about this song for a very long time. Now, I didn't know who Sheck West was. Like I didn't know who the artist was. But this is a song that came out in 2018, and obviously we can't play it because
Game
this is
Changer
going to be on.
SoundCloud.
Hmm?
SoundCloud. Like this is the the XXX Tentacion and Check Wet,
Yeah,
like that, the emergence of SoundCloud rappers, like not actually coming out through
yeah,
a label, but you gain your own
yeah.
fandom, and then somebody else comes and co-signs you, and they mutually benefit off your success.
Correct. So he signed with Good Music and all of that stuff, and that's the song that they play at Penn State. Uh, 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 mm, mm. So I hope you guys get it right. So the reason why I'm paying attention to this, right, is because it reminded me of when I was in Jacksonville, and we used to play this song. So mind you, when I first got to Jacksonville, the Weavers owned the team, and we had the oldest cheerleaders in the league and the most conservatively dressed cheerleaders in the league because that's the way Mrs. Weaver wanted it. Okay, and
You're not allowed to be on the team unless you got a mortgage. Is
dude,
that
dude,
what's
dude, we had like two like damn near 40-year-olds on the cheerleading team, and so it was just something that we knew, especially because a couple of guys were talking to a couple of the cheerleaders. So, you kind of get more of the inside scoop, right? But in
about
the
playing in their
stadium,
state? Like what
yeah.
what conversations does a 25-year-old have with a 40-year-old?
Oh, no, no, no. They weren't dating the older ones, they were dating the younger ones.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point is that so we had, more mature cheerleaders, and the music in the stadium was like it was always like, Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air. But we only had like 8 white guys on the entire team, right? 8 or 9. One of the years we were the least white team in the entire league, right? We had 3 black quarterbacks. I know that everybody thinks that the Ravens were the first to do it. No. We had Byron Leftwich, David Garrard, and Quinn Gray. Those were our 3 quarterbacks. And so to make a long story short, so um, one of the songs that would play in the stadium was it was like, and every time the defense came on, mind you, we had one of the top defenses in the league. It was like, oh god, what was the song? It was David Banner's song, and it would be like, you might get your wig split, might get your car shot up, might get your dough kicked. Oh, right. And this is playing in the
Didn't
stadium.
you didn't you have somebody on the team who did get shot in their car?
Yes. Damn.
Okay.
Damn. That wasn't until
Not
years
funny.
later, but
Not funny.
still, damn. Oh, shout out Richard Collier. So I was thinking about Mo Bamba, right? Which is being played in State College, okay?
Mhm.
And I know that
Yeah.
people play, different stuff in stadiums. I don't think anybody really pays attention to the lyrics, right? Do you
Okay.
know how the song starts?
Yes, I do.
It says, I got hoes calling a young in phone. Where's Ali at with the mother effing dope? BB, I be balling like a mofo, like a pro. And you're like, and it goes on and on. But the point is I'm like, I don't know if the people in the crowd really know what the lyrics of this song is, because they be that, like, you see when it comes on, they be the whole crowd be going, and you be like, all the students know what the lyrics say. I need to get a video of the student section, like, huh? Let's see who's singing these words.
I'm telling you, man, don't make people think. Don't make people think, because it just ruins everything. I've been covering high school football for the last 13 years. Every game I've ever been to, they get Sweet Caroline going. Every single game they get Sweet Caroline going.
Sweet Caroline. Oh, oh, oh. Please
Yeah, you
don't
know
tell
what?
me that there's something weird going on there.
Well, then you're gonna want to earmuffs for this next part. It's a Neil Diamond wrote that song about a photo of Caroline Kennedy on a horse when she was like 13 years old. It's a
What?
grown man's song about like a 13-year-old girl sitting on a horse standing with her family. He okay, to be fair to Neil Diamond, he's just describing what's happening in the photo. But he wrote a whole song off a photo of a 13-year-old girl, and it's like the number one song played at high school football games, and the whole thing just feels weird. It feels weird to me. That's all. I choose not to sing along. Everybody makes their own choice now that you have that information. Next time that song comes on, maybe you'll be giving informed consent when you're saying ba ba ba.
I mean, I need to ask Neil Diamond. I need to ask Neil Diamond in like 1980 what he was talking about. Not
Well,
not in
what's
2025. I need to ask him like the year the year it came out. I need to ask him what this like. I understand it's about where you like lusting after her, or is this somebody that you just thought was dope and you just wanted to write a song about her because she was so sweet and cool and all of this?
Yeah, and I mean, and some like I'm a creative writing major. Like they teach you like you look at a picture, they teach you to write small. Like how many words can you write about not a picture, but like the corner of a picture? How descriptive can you be? It's an exercise or whatever. But I do want to go like full Drewski. Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
When he
yeah, yeah.
says good times never looked so good, so good,
So
so
good,
good.
so good.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? So anyway,
So
there's
that's
a
why I
lot of
wanted
songs
to
like
talk
that.
about the Mo Bamba.
So that
Was
I
that
could
worth it?
ruin Neil Diamond?
Yes.
Probably not. Everyone probably hates what they're listening to right now. But I do like it that it's a whiteout and they're all in there talking about selling dope. A song written by the time I think it was set by a 17-year-old who wrote a song about selling dope and having hoes. And
Yeah.
yeah, good job, guys. All right, so next up
Hey, the
is
beat is
our
hard though. The beat is
it
hard though.
is. It is. It is.
Mm-mm.
I love there's an edit out there that somebody made of what's that Tom Hanks Christmas movie that's animated? Like computer graphic animated the about the train, the Polar
Thomas.
Express.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a Mo Bamba Polar Express edit and
Oh,
it's what the internet was made for.
okay.
Highly recommend after the show checking it out. Next up on our topics is Arkansas fires Sam Pittman. You had to see this one coming. What I did not see coming was, well, we knew Bobby Petrino was probably going to step into that role for the rest of the season, but he immediately started making himself at home, moving the furniture around, making hirings and firings, and I think he is going to do his absolute best to reestablish himself as the head coach of Arkansas.
Oh, they're
I'm
giving
curious,
him a shot.
George.
They are 100% giving him a shot. This is his audition and he's taking it. This feels like it when he hired Bobby Petrino, you knew he was getting fired. You let the fox in the hen house, bro. You knew, dude, this has mob movie written all over it. The number two in charge, he brings him over and he used to be in charge and now something happened and and then he got demoted and then the grandfather, like the big boss, he put in the new person and now he's ingratiated. Bobby Petrino's ingratiated himself back into the family. He's proven himself trusted. He's proven himself. And then first chance he gets, yank, yank, yank. I'm taking my spot back. And now he's like getting to hear like, yeah, this feels comfortable again. Y'all thought I was gone, huh? All right. All right. I'm back. We back in business. We better now. Dude, he is going to go out there. I guarantee they win a couple games now. This is going to and you can't assume that people haven't grown and changed. So maybe Bobby Petrino won't be on a motorcycle with a staffer, and getting an accident again with somebody he's not supposed to be on there with. Maybe he's grown from that. But this was in like, oh, of course, and water is wet.
Yeah, uh, it's not my school, So I'm not judging their process or whatever, but let's just
But
take a moment. Let's just take a moment to talk about how he lost his job. Now, he was a controversial figure before he lost his job.
yes,
He interestingly enough, the Atlanta Falcons, who he went, to be fair to Bobby Petrino, he went to the Atlanta Falcons to be Mike Vick's head coach. Mike Vick got in some legal trouble. Mike Vick paid his debt to society and ultimately ended up back in the NFL. So we're talking about Bobby Petrino, and I do believe that that forgiveness does exist, and apparently so do the decision makers in Fayetteville. But he went to the
that dude
Atlanta
quit.
Falcons.
Yes,
He did. He put a note on everybody's locker as like a breakup goodbye note, and he went to take the head coaching job at University of Arkansas. The interesting thing about that is the Falcons had just used a first round pick on defensive end Jamal Anderson out of Arkansas. So he like abandoned. This is kind of like the Bill Belichick Patriots beef when Drake May is the most visible Patriot, right?
yes.
So he leaves Jamal Anderson to go to Jamal Anderson's school. He takes the Arkansas job. They're looking good. And then he decides to hire, he's 51 at the time, 51 years old, and he hires himself a player development coordinator, staffer, secretary who is 25. I'm gonna leave her name out of it because I'm sure it's been brought up plenty of times this week. But he gave this nice young woman who he was 26 years older than, and if you believe in the half plus seven rule of dating, this was a serious violation of that, which is that you shouldn't your dating pool should not extend to anybody that is outside of the range of half of your age plus another 7 years. So this was a 25-year-old and he was 51. That's less than half. So he is married with 4 kids at the time and carrying on
That's actually a
this
good rule. I
relationship.
feel like that's actually a good rule because I was doing the math. I was like, hold up, I'm 44, so that means that according to Ralph's rule, if I were to be back on the market, which I am nowhere near back on the market, by the way, I'm happily married. It would be 29
Hypothetical,
years old.
hypothetical.
Yes,
Yeah, and
29 years old. Yeah, 29 and
that's
above.
still pretty young, but but that's the floor, right? It's not like
Yes,
you're
yes, that's the floor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you would be uh somebody who, assuming that you dated older, um that someone uh half plus 7 for you would be like 58 or something like that, or I don't know, around that if you're looking to find a more
No,
mature
no,
partner.
bro. No, because think about it. 60 plus 60 is 30, and then that's 37. So that would put me at like s-
Oh, like
72.
65.
No, like 75, bro.
You're not going to cash those social security checks? Come on now.
Man, stop, man. Stop. Man, hell no. I'm not going on no reality show.
Anyway, he decided to go on a romantic motorcycle ride picnic with his staffer, who he was having a relationship with, despite being married and having 4 kids. And he crashed his bike and broke his neck and 4 ribs and cut up his face something fierce, and then told everybody that he was by himself. But a state police report said there was a girl hiding in the bushes who had also fallen off the bike. This ultimately ended up costing him his job at Arkansas, and here we are 13 years later, and he's the interim head coach at the same college where that happened. And it just goes to show you, man, if you're in the middle of something in your life that you don't feel like you can get past, let Bobby Petrino be your beacon of hope that that you're going to be fine. As long as you didn't uh, commit a crime so egregious that somebody is harmed for the rest of their life. I'm assuming his relationship with his family is somewhat interesting, but there's always hope for you. You can always be redeemed, I
Hold on.
suppose.
Hey, yes, he can be redeemed. Him and Becky are still married.
There you
So
go.
if Becky can forgive him, why can't we? I love
Right,
Becky.
and you don't know when you're standing up there and you're giving your vows that in sickness and in health, uh that sickness could include a broken neck and 4 broken ribs from crashing a motorcycle with your mistress on the back. But that technically it is in the scope of that.
Yeah.
So shout out to a good woman for standing by her man as he crashes his motorcycle with his mistress on the back. But anyway, so Arkansas is now is now under the charge of Bob Petrino. He's firing people who probably Sam Pittman needed to fire, to be honest. I don't think Arkansas fans are taking his candidacy seriously, but is there anything he could do to
Yes.
cement this?
Yes, bro. Win. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the administration whether they feel comfortable with him. But you got to remember too, who's going to be their pool of candidates? That's the biggest question: is who is going to take this job? Obviously, it's an SEC job, but is it one of those jobs when the AD comes out and says that he didn't have the financial resources that he felt like that he needed to be successful? And you got they play at Tennessee, Texas A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, at LSU, at Texas, and Missouri. So they got 7 games left, and those are the 7 games. If he wins 4 of those games, he's getting a job. Hell, I give him the job. He wins 4 of those games because he's the
You know
same
who they
guy that was
want, though,
calling
right?
the offense against. If he goes and wins 4 games of those games, and they got beat by Notre Dame 56-13, and they didn't score no more points, I wouldn't actually. You know what? I wouldn't give him the job because then I would know that this was sabotage.
Do you know who they want?
Who?
Do you know who the
Oh,
fans are
they
like?
probably want Ryan Silverfield from Memphis.
You would you would think, but they are all in on John Sumrall of Tulane
Oh, I'm not
because
mad at that. I am not mad
he
at
was
that.
good at Troy, he was good at Tulane. Both of those schools are about 700 miles away from Fayetteville, but they're in the South.
Oh, I think that those 2 coaches in particular, Ryan Silverfield and Summerall, are going to be in high demand in this cycle because you got Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Arkansas, all open right now. I think I missed one, but they're all open right now, and they've all said pretty much all of them. We want an experienced head coach, and this, and this, who's proven winner. All right, so PJ Fleck already told UCLA, "I'll pass." So, I mean, who are you going to steal if you're any of these schools? Oh, and then Florida's probably going to get opened up after this weekend if they get boat raced by Texas.
2 one school that Jed Fish is an alumni of, and one where he coached Josh Rosen. Any chance you think he moves again?
I specifically asked if Jed Fish was going to take the UCLA job. Answer was no, and I feel confident about that. I did not ask about the Florida job. Did not have a chance to ask about that one. But his family's in Arizona. Do you think they would move to Florida?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough when it's your alma mater. That's tough. You went
Definitely.
through this with Mario Cristobal
Yep.
leaving Oregon. It's hard. It's really hard to say no. So we'll see
I
what
can't say
happens.
that I wouldn't hate that for Washington.
So we gotta move on to this next segment. And I just this is me just admitting that it maybe I'm aging. I hated the University of Virginia field storm. It made me nervous and anxious and weirded out. Now this is just gut reaction. Because my kids ran up to me and they're like, "Did you see this?" And
The
I
fastest
saw it
field
once.
storm of all time. The
Yeah, and I
ball
told them
had
I was like,
barely hit the ground.
"Yes." And I shout out University of Virginia. One of my son's teammates is going there. We were big Tony Elliott fans. We like to see them improve. They're doing great. College football is more fun when when they're doing well and not just producing one or two good players that go to the NFL every year. Um, but my visceral reaction to that was like, these players are in danger. Then my kids ran up to me and they're like, "You got to see this field storm," because they're young. They would love to be part of that someday. They think it's cool. And I was like, "I don't want to see that." And then later that night, my wife's like, "You got to see this. Did you see this?" I'm like, I can't watch it again. So I also do want to point out for anybody watching this show on YouTube, I am not Dan Lanning. I just have, it's been in my mind
Oh my
this
God.
entire time. But hey, shameless plug, shameless plug. We did have Dan Lanning on the Unafraid show on Tuesday.
There we
Make
go.
sure.
I pushed the wrong one.
Make sure that you check out Dan Lanning's interview with George Wrighster that took place right after Oregon beat Penn State in Happy Valley. It was a good plug, right? It's a good transition. Anyway, I'm soft and old now, and I did not like the field storm. What is your take on that?
Ralph, I cannot believe that you are such a Karen for this. However,
I'm not saying don't do
hold,
it. I
hold,
just didn't want to see it. I don't
hold on,
enjoy it.
hold on. You're gonna want. Don't bury the lead here.
Okay.
I am 100% in agreement with you, dude. I was like, dude, I'm getting old soft guy because all I saw was a potential trampling. That's all I saw. I saw a player standing on the ground. People, he got engulfed by people. He could have got trampled, and that was now, mind you. But at the same time, I am in on the field storm. I just think that you just need to just make sure that all players can get up off the field. But then fans have to, and my social media got blown up this week because it from that thing. Because you had a fan walk up to Thomas Castellanos, give him the finger, right?
Yeah.
And I had that happen at Oregon State. And I don't remember exactly what I did, but there was some contact with me and the fan. Okay. Um, he was in my way. I was going to the locker room. They had won. They stormed the field. He is in my way of me getting to the locker room. Mind you, this is like 2000, so there aren't as many cameras on, and thank God for this because I probably would have been in trouble for what happened. And I don't remember exactly, but there was contact between me and the fan. And he wouldn't get his ass up out the way, and he just was. And I do believe that fans in those moments that you have to realize that emotions are high. These are people who just finished, like clashing at each other, being super physical and all of this stuff. So your testosterone super like bad things can happen. You should celebrate the moment, but don't FAFO.
Yeah.
Like when LeGarrette Blunt uh punched Byron Hout, he shouldn't have did it, but I get it. And people on my Twitter were like, "Oh, George, you're so soft and this, and this." Because I said, if Thomas Castellanos had punched this dude or pushed him or something, he'd be in the wrong. And they were like, "Oh my God, he makes money now." Like that doesn't mean that that's okay. There's a reason why the NFL does not allow field storms because there would be confrontations because fans don't know how to freaking act.
We
Storm
already
the
had somebody
field,
putting their
celebrate
hands
with
on
your
Lamar
people.
Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Against this season, and he pushed the fan away. It comes a point where you have to understand the rules. When you are a fan, you have the right to boo, cheer, all of this stuff because you bought a ticket, all of that. But you do not have the right to do that. I think that is too far over the line, and you're running a risk at that point in time because people are like, well, he's got to be able to control his emotions. Dude, he just finished playing a football game, like somebody's trying to knock his head off. He's trying to knock other people's head off. And you think that there's like rationality in that moment. Like it takes a minute to decompress. It's like when you get in an argument. how long does it take you, or you're getting ready to have some sort of altercation? How long does it take your body, like your physical body, to like calm down and settle in? It takes a minute. So the
Yeah.
same thing in football. So, and if you're in one of those modes, somebody comes up and you're like, or if you just got in a fight with your wife and all this stuff, and the kids come up bothering you, like, what? Same thing.
It reminded me of those Black Friday videos where like the Walmart employee would go up to the front door to unlock it, and then all of a sudden they just get destroyed by
Yep.
everybody flooding through the doors. I'm like, man, these guys are just trying to do their job. It freaked me out a little bit, but I'm not against field storming. I just am against humans getting trampled.
Yes.
That shouldn't be a controversial take. But I do want to talk a little bit more about fans and fan behavior because University of Colorado just got fined $50,000 for some of the stuff that the students were chanting against BYU. And now, to be fair to the Colorado fans, this is not an excuse at all. They were in rare form all night.
Yeah.
All night. Like you could hear the chants on the broadcast. There was a guy, cornerback for BYU. His last name was Johnson, I think, number 23. And all you can hear is F you Johnson, like over and over again. And that dude would just make plays. And he's like not giving it back to the crowd, but you could tell he heard it and he's fired up.
See,
And though the
that
crowd's
is
going nuts,
inbound.
and
I see. I think that that's inbounds. I think it's out of bounds in terms of because it's a family environment. But I think that chanting at a player like is completely in bounds unless you're like, uh, where's your mother? And your mother died. Like that's not cool.
right. Well, I mean, I grew up. I grew up in not when I was a very small kid in Laramie, Wyoming, and BYU was a big opponent. And like, Danny Ainge and stuff like that there at the time. And they'd come to Laramie, and the whole chant would be, I'm like 3 years old at the time, whole arena chanting "Fu BYU." Like this
Yeah.
stuff. Like there's always been a pretty big animosity
Yes,
toward
for
the
sure.
Cougs, but like this whole thing of like it's 2025 and we're still doing the religion thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's it's
Um,
played. It's played.
But what do you think of the fine? Do you think that's gonna help everybody else kind of get out ahead of it? Like, hey, like this thing is off limits, or do you think it's just gonna
There's
keep
only one thing
happening
that you can
forever?
do to stop that because they don't care that the school got fined. So you know what you
Yeah, it
do as
doesn't
a
come out of
school?
their pocket.
I'm passing it on to the students. If we get fined for this, I'm passing it on. There's going to be a dollar tax for there's going to be a dollar tax every time we get fined.
I Here's one thing though: don't put a price tag on me being ignorant, because I'll know exactly how much it costs.
Then how much the ignorance?
Yeah, I'll be like BYU will get an interception, and then I'll be like pulling up my bank app. All right. like,
I'll
like
pre-send you the
my
money.
direct
I will
deposit hit this year.
pre-send you the money.
Yeah, hey, Venmo me for what I'm about to say to the quarterback. like,
Yeah.
so I don't know about putting a price on it, but this just continues to be an issue with BYU, and not because of BYU. BYU didn't do anything, but I am curious as to what can be done, because yeah, why would the students care if you're like, hey, don't do this, we're gonna get fined? I'd be like, all right, well then
Well, cool. I
you're
pay my
paying for
tuition
it.
already anyway, so pay away.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine this not continuing,
Oh.
considering it
Then
has
the
always
only thing
existed.
that you can do is assess 15-yard penalties because now you are negatively impacting your
Ooh,
team.
that's fair. That's fair. But if that's the case, and I'm a BYU fan, I'm going into other teams' colors and I'm saying the most ignorant stuff, and like,
Damn.
and I know my scriptures, so it's gonna be nasty work.
Oh my
Like
God. You hate black people. Like,
1979,
yeah.
just like it wouldn't, and so like it would be one of those things where there's always some type of workaround or whatever. But I don't know what you do to get students to not get on the religion thing, because it's tired, it's played out, it's stupid. Now it's costing schools money. But if you did make it a penalty, that would be, I think that
Yes.
would shut people up in the moment for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But there's always a bounce back to it. Like people would be more nasty the next time around, or outside the football stadium.
Oh, for
If
sure.
everybody could just love everybody, that'd be sweet.
Yep.
But speaking of contentious issues, we have multiple college football personalities considering getting into national politics. The big headline one is Paul Finebaum telling your old buddy Clay Travis that he was approached prior to the Charlie Kirk shooting, and the seed had already been planted for him to potentially run for a United States Senate seat. And then the Charlie Kirk thing happened, and it made him seriously
Yeah.
consider. He said he did bring up he's thought about politics before, but because he was a resident of Charlotte, North Carolina, it meant there was no avenue for him. And so, what I want to say to anybody who's confused about what that means is, I'm a resident of Charlotte, North Carolina. It means you're probably not getting elected as a white man out of the Queen City.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that is
unless
what
he
he
was
was
going for
saying.
senator.
Unless it was a Senate. Yes, unless it was for Senate. But Charlotte is a very blue city in a purple state, a state that's very red on the like local politics level.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's a very, very, very blue city. But what do you think about that? I'm assuming maybe Tennessee or something like that. Paul Finebaum, uh, United States Senator.
I Paul Finebaum is very influential with people. His base loves him. I just don't know what he stands for. So I have no idea. But I mean, we are in a day and age where you actually don't have to stand for anything. You just have to be standing next to the right people. So I mean, I don't even know what he believes, what he doesn't believe. I know what he thinks about Alabama. I know what he thinks about, you know, and I listen to the Paul Finebaum show. So I'm not sure,
Yeah,
and I don't even know where he stands on a lot of things. So I'm unsure.
I think that he would be uniquely qualified to be a city councilman,
Yeah.
and that's not a slight. Like, if you ever go to a city council meeting, they give the microphone to all these people and they voice their
Oh yeah.
concerns, and some of those concerns are out from outer space, and they sound like Feinbaum callers. And he does pretty good at sorting through people just saying nonsense on his show and then ignoring them completely. So maybe he'll be the perfect politician, because really all it is, especially on the United States Senate level, is you get handed the book that is your party platform. So
Yep.
these are the things that you believe today. It might shift, but these are the things you believe today. Go out and defend them. And that's why I think all college football personalities and fans would be uniquely suited for the current American political climate, because I'm going to support my team no matter what. I'm going to come up with excuses for my team no matter what. Michigan cheats and I'm a Michigan fan. No, they didn't. Ohio State
Oh
cheats in
my
the exact
God.
same way and I'm a Michigan fan. Yes, they did.
Dude, that
So
makes me
I think
tired. Like, why can't we just tell the truth?
so. The other rumored personality is Todd Graham. Todd
I know
Graham,
that
currently a
matters to
special.
you. I don't even dude, what does Todd Graham believe? I mean, I don't even know. Like, I just know that here's the thing I've learned is that it felt like you used to have some sort of qualifications to be in politics. It felt like that, right? Regardless of
Mhm.
whether it's true or not. Like it felt like it was a more educated, thing. And now it feels like you can get promoted to, certain levels of the government, and these people have no qualifications. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
like it would be like making thinking that you have a GA on your staff as a college football guy, and then been like, "Yo, he should be chief of staff." Like moving him up to chief of staff. You're like, he has no, or moving him up to athletic director or head coach. You're like, just because this person may be talented in your mind, or whatever, if they have no, like, they're gonna fail at the job.
Yeah. Okay, so let's forget the name Todd Graham. Let's just forget that you know who that is, because you know who that is. So if I came to you and I said, George, do you think that this person would be a decent candidate for a United States office, let's say a congressional seat, and you say, like, tell me a little bit about them, and I'd say, okay, um, raised in a poor town, had a kid at 15, uh, went on to go to college
Okay.
anyway, even though they had a kid at 15 years old. Didn't have a dad, um, and still managed to go to college, uh, and then from that point on went to work in high school education, and managed to work their way up to manage hundreds of people,
Okay.
and then moved into the post-secondary education sector, where they managed hundreds of people and million-dollar organizations in Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, uh, and Arizona and Hawaii, uh, and volunteered the last few years after leaving the organization in Hawaii at a private Christian school in Texas, and is now back consulting in post secondary education in a multi-million dollar business. Um, so forget the name Todd Graham at all.
Yeah.
If I just described those traits to you, would you say that that's a person that, like, oh, they've managed people, they've been all over the country, they pulled themselves up
Yes.
by their
Yes.
bootstraps?
And that even if they are not like competent in the full subject matter, that they'll get up to speed. Yes. That's what I would think.
So but that's the interesting thing. And then I'm like, okay, well, what I'm talking about was the head coach of Allen High School football, who went on to be the head coach of
Yes.
Pitt, Tulsa, Rice, Arizona State, and Hawaii.
Yeah.
Should that be a congressman? I don't know. But yeah, be your garden variety Christian conservative. And he still lives in Arizona, even though he works in Texas or whatever. So best of luck to him. Um, but yeah, it's tough. Even being somebody who follows college football, I'm
Just
like,
do
well,
what
this
is
isn't a real
right
job.
for the people that vote. Yeah, we can move on, but just do what's right for the people that vote for you and tell the truth. That's all I want.
Very, very simple. I like it. Well, let's stay in politics since you love it so much. Ted Cruz has come out against the SAFE Act, calling it partisan. The SAFE Act is an alternative to the
To the
SCORE
SCORE
Act, and
Act, yes.
some stuff in the SAFE Act is that an athlete can transfer twice without the penalty of sitting out. It guarantees your scholarships for 10 years after your eligibility, so you can go back to finish school. 5 years post eligibility medical coverage for players, which is important.
Yep.
And it creates, perhaps most importantly, a registry and certification for agents of college players. I don't know much about any of this. You are actually my source of information
Yeah.
on what is right and wrong in this. And I also know that sometimes Ted Cruz gets on your nerves, as he does everybody. But he is coming out and saying that he will not support this bill. At this point, do you care which bill passes?
Yes, I want neither one of them to pass. Because there are some. So my biggest issue with the SCORE Act and the SAFE Act is that neither one of these things will get us to collective bargaining. Like this is giving the schools, well, the powers that be, so much power over what happens that the athletes now have no control. And that's the thing I don't like about either one of them. Because the thing that is going to stop the lawsuits, even the SCORE Act, the SAFE Act, it is still going to lead to more lawsuits and all of this stuff. But they're going to be able to fight them on some level because the SAFE Act has an antitrust exemption. And Ted Cruz not supporting it because it's a Democrat led bill. That's why it was brought up by Cory Booker, I think. That's why Ted Cruz is not supporting it. Now, I just said so. I just said that I would not. I don't want either one of them to pass. I think that there are very good things in both of them. There are both very good things in the SCORE Act, very good things in the SAFE Act. But it doesn't matter. There needs to be one individual governing body over college sports, and they need to negotiate with the players about whether it's practice time, money, uh, 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 transfer limits, all of those things, negotiate them out. Then there's no way to sue, and then we can go on and move forward and make the game better.
All right, let's get into the Wrighster or wrong segment. We'll roll through some of these pretty quick. Lane Kiffin beats Brian Kelly, beats his daughter's boyfriend. He pukes on the field during the game. Incredible clip. Have you
Yes,
ever thrown up on the field?
yes. With my rookie year preseason game, Tampa Bay, I threw up on the field because I was tired. I wasn't supposed to, it was my first game, I think, and I wasn't supposed to play as much as I did, and I ended up playing on special teams because there was injuries on special teams, playing every play on offense. Yeah, it was too much, and I threw up on the field, but
That,
I puked and rallied.
there we go. It does. Nothing feels better than better out than in, I guess. But he trolled Whit Weeks immediately after the game and said, "I'm gonna go find him and see if we covered the over." And then he posted some pretty innocuous comments from Brian Kelly on his Twitter account, which is that we want to win the game. Like that's what I took the comments to be. Like we're gonna go out there, we're gonna win the game. It was like the Matt Hasselbeck. We want the ball and we're gonna score.
Yeah.
So he throws that back in Brian Kelly's face. My question for you is he doing too much?
Not yet. The only time that I don't like Lane Kiffin, because Lane Kiffin's got to be Lane. Only thing I don't like about Lane is when Lane gets to complaining and poking his nose in other people's business. Like,
So as
stay
far as
on
this
your
one,
team and all that stuff. Yeah, stay on your team,
he
your
can
situation. Like,
so
don't
he
get
can
to.
troll when it's directly related to him,
Correct,
which this
correct.
was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm all inbounds.
Okay, Wrighster or wrong, it is a complete travesty to have Arizona State University at University of Kansas played in London, third game of the season next year.
Whose idea is this? Whoever's idea this is needs to be banned from putting ideas up. They need to be on idea timeout, because I understand why the NFL plays in London, because there's money to be made, and even that's a little, a lot sometimes. I mean, they're playing in Germany and Brazil and everywhere else, but their whole thing is grow and expand the game because they want more money. There's more money on earth, and we're not tapping into this European money and this South American money. We need to. So I get it for the NFL. What benefit does this do to Arizona State? And who are they playing? Kansas.
It's a Kansas
I mean,
home
it's a
game.
dope experience for the kids because they're gonna go over there early. Wait, it's the third game of the season.
Yeah, it's not the opener. It's like in the middle of the season. Yeah.
So is there a bye week prior I mean, it's got to be a bye week prior.
I'm assuming it or post. There has to be something. Uh,
Because
let me
that
see
makes
if
no sense. You're just gonna fly over there for 3 days, right? That wrecks your body. If the kids are gonna get to go over there before the season and be out there for a week, 5 days, get a chance to experience stuff, all of that, cool. I love it. But for the kids, but I hate the idea. What is Arizona State and Kansas going to gain from this?
I don't know. I can't think of two more different cities than London, England, than Tempe, Arizona, and Lawrence, Kansas. So maybe it's just for the sake of enrichment. So here's what Kansas's AD said, Travis Goff. This opportunity is reflective of the growth and trajectory of our football program and the entire university, and will provide our fans and student athletes with an unprecedented experience. We're
Okay.
excited for our season ticket holders and students. They'll have 6 opportunities to watch a game at the booth this season, because they're doing construction and stuff. So um, yeah, but it was about being on the global stage. It's the first ever college football game at Wembley. I just hate that it's September
I don't
19th.
want my Ducks playing out there. I'll tell you that much. There's no point. There's no point.
I don't even know what to say. Do you hit? So speaking of international news, do you care that the Saudi investment fund is now part owner of EA Sports? Will that affect your purchasing decisions at all?
No, no. I mean, it will not impact it because as long as they keep making good games, I don't care. I mean, it's a private company. It's a video game maker. How is that any different than if you know if Apple sold to whoever? Like it's a private business. They got to make the best move for them. Just keep making good video games. I mean, but there is a whole thing with like Riyadh season and all of that stuff. Um, one place where they want in, but they won't let them in at least at this point in time is the NFL. They're not getting into the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, money is green. Even money with a little bit of uh, plasma on it, or a little bit of oil on it, or
Yeah,
a
but
little
you
bit of
know what
sand
people
on
are
it.
saying? They're like, "Hey, who's clean anyway?"
Yeah, yeah, you do get into that logic. But anyway, yeah, shout out to EA Sports. If you were an investor, I think you're getting paid out at $210 a share. So
Ooh,
congratulations to you. Yeah, it's quite a bit, dude. Um, Speaking of money in sports, I guess college football is going to welcome sponsorship patches. Wrighster wrong colleges should get in the jersey patch business.
Wrighster, they should. That doesn't mean I have to like it. I hated it when the NBA did it. I don't like it, but I get
That's
it.
because that's because your Lakers sold space on the jersey to Wish, which is quite possibly the most hilarious website of all time.
I've never even been like, so I don't even know how effective it is. I've never even been to Wish, and and
It's
then
like Spencer's Gifts Timu,
wasn't the sponsor before that like Alibaba or something?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, tweet from Pete Thamel just came out. Since you're talking about money, the Big Ten is in discussions about a private capital deal that would infuse at least $2 billion to the league and its schools. Per me and Dan Wetzel, the discussions include a 10-year extension of the league's grant of rights until 2046. I I hate this with the power of a thousand suns. Private equity money getting into college football. The good part is that it will clean up the fat on the coaches' contracts. That's the first thing. The and like the buyout situation. I have no problem with how much money coaches make. None. I have a problem with the buyout situation
That
where
if Luke Fickle gets fired, he's going to get 7 more years of salary on top of this.
yes, but that's not even the biggest part. It's that if Luke Fickle leave, well, like let's use Brian Kelly for example. If he
Mhm.
leaves LSU, depending on where the contract is now, but when he first signed it, it was like 2 million to LSU if he leaves. Two. But if they fired him, they would have owed him like 70, $80 million. It makes no sense. There's no incentive to keep your job. There's no incentive to be good at your job aside from like personal, you know,
Personal
excitement.
pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal pride, excitement. Yeah.
Well, because I did have to have my wife explain to me, and the old you guys always side on the exact same side of stuff, but I always said like, man, I'll take the annuity, and my wife would be like, you're an idiot then, because you can take the lump sum and you can turn it into a personal annuity and then have that money never go away.
Yes.
And so I always look at coaching contracts like that. I'm like, going to work every day is the annuity. Getting fired is the lump sum.
Yeah.
So of course people are going to be tempted to take the lump sum. But yeah, I don't know. I that's a too big of a problem for me to solve on this podcast. Last two things of Wrighster are wrong. Mackay Hughes. Mekhi Hughes, a running back at University of Oregon, transferred in from Tulane, rushed for over 1,400 yards last year, and is now asking to redshirt because he is not being used. And you say you like this. So,
Yeah.
what is Wrighster about Mekhi Hughes asking out of his team duties to redshirt?
Well, from the understanding that he'll still be practicing and showing up and lifting weights and all of that stuff. I mean, because you could get into a situation where if there are injuries, brother, you got to come out here and see what you can do. But there's been a fairness with the depth chart. I mean, he got money to go and transfer to Oregon, and people have outplayed him from what I've been told. That it's not that they think he's a bad player, they just think the other people have been sensational. And I think that that speaks to culture, right? Because a lot of times the money plays at a lot of places. Like that person's going to get the benefit of the doubt and everything else over and over again. But when you stand or you say that your standard is the best players are going to play, you have to mean that, regardless of if it's the highest paid player or the lowest paid player. The best players have to play, regardless of how much you make.
College football got to be the only industry on earth where the reward is the work you get to do. Because in any other situation, like this is actually a more true representation of a meritocracy where someone else at my job is getting paid more than me, but I'm doing all the work.
Yes.
And so, like, but but in college football, we look at that as like, yeah, but you earn that work. Good job.
Yes.
So it's a weird way to think about it, that the reward is actually the participation in the labor. But that players get it too. Even if they're making a lot of money, they're unsatisfied if they're not being used correctly. We see this in the NFL all the time when you're making $40 million a year and you're mad because of what? Like your skill set's not being used right, or you're not being appreciated or respected. The human ego is a fascinating, fascinating thing. Last thing in Right or Wrong,
Hold on.
we
I got a
started.
question for
Oh,
you. I
okay.
got a question for you.
Okay. Okay.
Can you name? There is only one, and I just verified this. There is only one Power Four team, okay? And then you can add in the American, which is 100% true for the American, 100% true for the ACC. Well, sorry, all the Power Four conferences. There's only one team that fits this criteria. You can add in the American to this too. You can add in the Mountain West to this as well. This is only true of one team, Ralph. And you can add the
Okay.
Sun Belt in there too. Okay?
Okay.
There's only one team out of all those conferences, 7 conferences. Only one team has led for 0 seconds this entire season.
Hmm. Oklahoma State?
Nope. Oklahoma State won a football game.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They beat a FCS team.
The the Beavers.
Oh,
Oregon State?
I didn't name the Pac-12.
Oh, okay. Okay. Pac 2. Uh all right, I don't know. Tell me.
UCLA.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad, right?
Dude, they have not
Well,
led for a single solitary second.
well, if somebody could clip this and send this to Joey Aguiar, I'm sure he won't be upset by that fact, as he is out in Tennessee having the time of his life. We started this podcast talking about rap.
And Oregon State has led. They were up at least in one game. They were up against Fresno State 12-7 in the second quarter.
Nice. Well, I know you come to the College Football Apostles for your hip hop news, and we started talking about rap. We're going to end talking about rap. George, let's say that you are one of the best selling rappers of all time,
Okay.
and
So
you agree to
Drake,
perform
Jay-Z, Eminem,
more Southern United States based,
Lil Wayne,
Southeastern United States.
uh, I know my way about a week ago. Oh, oh gosh.
And you're also the star of a major movie franchise that has spawned 9 sequels. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. You are very famous rapper, actor, entertainer, and you book a
Tyrese?
show.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no, no.
You book a show. Hold on.
Okay,
You book a show at one of what is expected to be the premier college football games in the country.
okay.
You are going to perform before that college football game. It just so happens that that's going to be a matchup of 1 and 3 teams, and it's now kicking off at noon, which means that you got to take the stage at like 10 a.m. as one of the most famous rappers on earth.
Is that Clemson,
Wrighster
North
wrong.
Carolina? No, 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 no.
Wrighster,
Okay, yeah, because
Wrighster
Clemson's one
wrong.
and
You're
three, and
canceling the gig.
nah, uh, nah. I'm still gonna show up. I'm still gonna show up. And if it's Clemson, North Carolina, so you got a 1 and 3 team versus a 2 and 2 team, and Clemson is favored by 14 points in this game. Think about they're favored by. That's how bad North Carolina is. They're favored by 14 points. Now there's going to be no pomp and circumstance surrounding this game, but these are the chances that you take. And yeah, but people are still going to talk about it. They're only going to talk about your performance though. And who is this rapper?
It would be ludicrous performing at
Luda.
10 in the morning. 10 in the morning. What's that song he got with the rooster in it? They're gonna have to. It's gonna be a literal rooster because
Oh,
it's gonna be first thing in the morning.
I mean, it could be a big. Well, no, it can't be a big noon kickoff, but yeah, because it's an ACC game. But yeah, it could have been a 9 a.m. kickoff. You never know. He knew that this could be a thing going in. He'll be all right.
It's gonna be a 7 a.m. West Coast ludicrous concert. Okay, so the song with the rooster in it is Saturday, which is perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
You know what I'm talking about? Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
yeah. Ooh, ooh. Yeah.
All right. So besides
Got a big
ludicrous,
green dad, pocket full of cash, just sticky, icky. Yeah, I know exactly what he's doing.
this one I think college students might actually understand all the lyrics of. So let's get into the 3 things we're looking forward to this weekend. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go. It's fine. Oh, dude, there are going to be upsets this weekend. Look into the camera. I'm looking. There will be upsets this weekend in college football. I'm not sure exactly which one it is going to be, but I'm going to give you a couple of games that you can you can rest assured that there is going to be an upset either in Purdue, Illinois, Maryland, Washington, Texas Tech, Houston, Virginia, and Louisville. And or Alabama Vandy.
Somebody posted on X that if a ranked team is an underdog, they lose 75% of the time to an unranked team. I don't know if it was an actual statistic, but they were specifically referencing Virginia, Louisville, and Iowa State, Cincinnati this weekend. That you should bet on Iowa State and on Louisville to win those games.
Oh, oh wait, no. You mean Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati, and
Well,
Virginia,
Cincinnati
Louisville.
ain't beating Iowa State, buddy.
Well, see, man, Iowa State might have got themselves beat up against Arizona. We'll find out. What I'm looking forward to this weekend. So there's this defensive coordinator. This is real deep in the weeds, but this is what you like about me, I think. His name is Rob Arich, and he came over
Never
from
heard of him.
Idaho. He came to San. Well, you're about to. Rob Arich came over from University of Idaho to San Diego State. He runs a 4.25, and the last 2 games, you had San Diego State beat Northern Illinois 6-3. And George, do you know what San Diego State did 1 week before that?
Yes, they beat Cal. They blanked them. They put up a bagel.
Exactly. And so I figure maybe we'll be the first national podcast to maybe mention this guy's name, but I officially am on Rob Arich watch in his first year as a major like FBS defensive coordinator. He got back-to-back no
Okay, I'm
touchdown
going
games.
deep into what. Okay, so San Diego State is 3-1, bro. They've only given up 16 points the whole season.
Well, no, because they got rocked by Washington State.
Oh, I read
But that
that
was kind
wrong.
of like
I
a that
read
was kind
I
of like a
read that wrong. I was like, oh my God, they only gave up 13 points to Washington State. Never mind.
no,
Excuse me.
they were on
I
the other end of that.
apologize.
But in the last 2 weeks, it's starting to work a little bit. And after what they did to Cal, I was like, who the hell's on this staff? Because I knew Sean Lewis, right?
Yeah.
And then they get a 6-3 game, and now that's 2 games, no
Okay.
scores.
So if
Shout
they
out
can
Rob
do that
Arich,
versus
Colorado State.
Mummy in
Jake,
Colorado State, and then to your boy Chuba Purdy, Chuba.
it'll be yeah. You got to start. That's a name to look out for. The other thing I'm looking forward to, and I might go to this game if I don't go to the Ludacris concert, is the return of Malik Murphy to North Carolina as Oregon State travels to Boone. Um, I think that this is so lame. Please don't. I Oregon State's jerseys, they got the fall colors and everything, and they're coming to the Blue Ridge Mountains as all the leaves are turning orange. I just think it's going to be gorgeous and magical and a good color game. So shout out to Malik Murphy. I hope you get your lick back. The Beavers are 0-5 right now. And I think it's going to be a good color game. Uh, I like
Okay.
those things. And my last thing is I wanted to mourn with you that your pick to go to the college football playoff from the G5 is going to be playing in hell this weekend, and it will probably be the end of their undefeated run because UNLV goes to Laramie,
Memphis
and they're a
doesn't
little
go
bit of
to
a
Wyoming.
oh, you switched,
Remember
up.
I switched up. I switched up,
Okay,
buddy.
okay, then you're safe. Then
Yeah.
you're safe. There is a little bit of an elevation difference between Las Vegas, Nevada, and Laramie, Wyoming.
Yes.
And I'm rooting for Dan Mullen, so I'm not actually looking
If
forward
they
to this.
win that game, bro, that's gonna be a thing.
I agree with you because it is again, this is not a place where you want to have to play college football. So,
Yes.
shout out to Dan Mullen. Best of luck. Laramie
Yeah.
is the worst.
Oh yeah. And the other two things I was looking forward to is Cal Duke. I want to see
Mm.
Mensa versus Jaron Kiwi Sagapuatelli. Now he slowed down in the last couple weeks. He's come back down to earth. But
Game-winning TD pass though.
yeah,
He got that game winner.
yep.
That was nice.
So I like that. And then also, I'm excited for this Texas Florida game. I want to see. I have no idea what's going to happen in that game. No idea. We got two quarterbacks who are not playing at their best right now. Florida's trying not to get their head coach fired. He's trying not to get fired, but he won't give up play calling duties. And that, and I don't know. So let's see.
Looking forward to Texas, Florida. I want to ask you this question. Did you watch Squid Game on Netflix and like find it entertaining?
Yes.
It wasn't like ominous and dark and gave you bad dreams or anything. It was just fun to
No.
watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's why you're looking forward to a game that could end with a quarterback getting run out of town and shaming his family's name and or a man getting fired after being in hell in Gainesville for the last 3 years. And you're like, it sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it.
No, yeah. Dude, I look forward to the catastrophes.
Oh man, that's one of those ones where I'm watching with the crack in the hands. Like,
Oh
oh
no, no, no,
no.
no. I'm watching, dude. I watch post game press conferences.
That's so funny. So that Dan Katz says that from Barstool Big Cat. He says anytime the Packers lose, he taps into Green Bay radio just to
Yes,
listen to callers.
dude. That is me. I watched, dude. So I watched Sark after they lost to Ohio State. Saw him, watched him after Arch didn't play well. Watched Billy Napier. We've watched you know James Franklin, Lincoln Riley, Kirby Smart. Oh, I watch all, and this started with me with House of Highlights with the NBA playoffs. I love watching. Oh God, post games of the players after NBA losses. That's why, honestly, that's why I don't like James Harden, because after he loses the last game of the season, he just bails on the media thing and takes his fine. That's the thing that makes me probably the most mad about him. Like, go up there and face the music.
I thought we were going to get through a college football show without mentioning James Harden, but he did attend Arizona State, Texas Christian. So shout out to Five, the brand ambassador of your favorite shoe.
Yep. All right, you guys. I'm George Wrighster. He's Ralph Amsden. This is the College Football Apostles.